Get started, there are a few things we need to gather, and you need to log into your Qmatic Orchestra site, and you're going to head over to the business configuration. A few things we want to make sure that we have. So this is the default page in the business configurations, the operations profile. Click on your equipment profiles, and what we're looking for is a few things, and I'll point out each one to see which one you may have installed on your system. We're definitely looking for something that's may say Spotlight, if you have that, and make sure the media application there's something in there. Typically, if you have no item selected, then what you may want to do is just scroll down to make sure there isn't something else that you may be using, which is I'll show you what that is. The next one there. So Spotlight. The unit type would be cinematic. The next one is a cinematic with the user unit ID as cinematic. Again, make sure media application there's something in there. And let me see, there's one more. I'm not sure if I added it here. Thought I did, but let me go ahead and add it. It is the web presentation. So there it is, web presentation point, unit type. Alright, and I'm going to make sure I select something in there. Alright, so you're going to have one of those. You most likely will not have all three, as I do. You're just going to have one. Okay, the next thing we're just going to go to branches. Select your branch. You're going to want to jot down your branch prefix. So make sure you write that down. And then also you're going to want to get down one of the three that I showed you, the unit ID name. So it's either Cinematics, Spotlight, or the web presentation point. Either one of those, depending on what's installed on your system. And then also you want to take note of your IP address for your Qmatic hub, because you're going to need that, including the port address. So it's typically port 8080. And if it's secured, it's 40443 for the secured version. So that's it for here as far as what you need to get down. Now let's go ahead and install Spotlight on your Android device. Okay, so let's go ahead and install Spotlight on your Android device. Now, one thing about this Android device, it does not have a Play Store, so you're going to have to copy that APK file that I sent you, or that you downloaded from our site, and put that on a USB thumb drive, and plug that into one of the available USB ports on the device itself. And once you get that and boot up the system, you should have this screen that's in front of you. To access the the uh, the installation app, go ahead and click on the um, app menu there, and you should have what's called a File Explorer pre-installed. So if you have that, go ahead and click on that. And if the thumb drive is readable, and it should be accessible at this point, and you've noticed that internal flash, USB, and NetHood are the only three options that are available for me to select. Since I do have my device on the application on a USB thumb drive, I'm going to select that, and you should too as well. At this point, I'm just going to drill down to wherever the file is located, or the application is located, and there is mine right there. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It's going to start the installation process. I'm going to select next and install, and this should do it rather quickly, as it did there. So let's go ahead and I'm going to select done because I want to show you where this is located. Let's go ahead and go back on all this. So as you see now in the apps menu here, apps gallery, its Spotlight is installed, and there it is. So now I'm going to go ahead and open that. Okay, so remember though that little bit of information that you gathered earlier. We're going to take that information now and input that into our screen here. So if you would like, you could explore what this app does, but really these are the three uh, places or text box you need to fill in order to get your Spotlight working or connected to the orchestra server. So I'm going to start with putting in the IP address of my device. Now I'm using this very tiny USB Bluetooth keyboard, and my fingers are little. I got fat tech fingers, and a little clumsy with it. So that's the first part. The next part is I want to enter the port address. So remember, if you are using Web Secure Socket, it's 443. Now, right here is where there's tons of confusion because it's pretty misleading. It says here unit ID, and if you recall, I asked you to jot down your unit ID as well as the prefix. But it doesn't say to add the prefix. But if you don't add it, it's not going to connect. So to save you the headache, make sure you add the prefix first, followed by colon. And you don't have to do any spaces here. And then the actual unit ID. So in my case, I selected Spotlight because that's the one I have. In your case, it could be one of four options, which is either Spotlight, Media Hub, or Cinematic, um, or the web presentation point. And I believe in your case, it may be the web presentation point. So you just have to type that in exactly the way it is written. So if there's capital W, capital P, and capital P, you're going to have to do exactly the same way. It is very case sensitive. All right, once that is done, if you have SSL security, go ahead and select that. In this case, we don't. We're using 8080, which is the open port, unsecured. And we're going to click save. And now mine, because I have a pretty fast network, it connected really quickly. So as you can see on my screen, I've brought up the Spotlight design that we're using from our Surface, so our Surface Editor design, and brought that up right into view. And if I were to call tickets, this will work with no issues. So let me see if I could go ahead and do that for you here, just to kind of give you the full effect of this demonstration. So I'm going to log into my demo environment here. Just bear with me, and I will create some tickets rather quickly. Okay, let me just create a few more. Alright, so that's enough there, and now give me the opportunity to go ahead and log in. This is completely worth the wait. Let's see here. I know that I'm doing this off screen, so you can't really see what I'm doing here. Apologize for that. But you really just want to focus on what's in front of you. And there you go. So you can see that it's working, and I guess it's a pretty good demo because I'm showing you Spotlight on one end, configure it on the other end. I'm actually calling tickets. Go ahead and call another ticket. And I created 3 tickets. So I'm going to call the last one. Okay. So there we go. Spotlight configured and working. Thank you.